I think we're live. Yay. And I think,
Hi, Peter.
Peter, if you're there, this is where I could actually use something to put this on. Hello, Faith. Hello. I'm going to use Primo Levi's Holocaust memoir class.
Maybe he says he can't see. Maybe you need a bigger book.
Oh, Peter is there.
Now I can.
Okay, can you see us?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. It's the small things, like what do I need? See, this is why I want to get I'm going to go on Apple and
I have one at home I can give you.
I'm going to get like I'm going to get on the Apple website and get the Temple like a refurbished iPad, I think. Okay. Hi.
Hello.
You all look so cute. Oh my God. I think actually,
Bundle
all right, let's make Peter nauseous by moving the camera around.
So many letters on.
And let me do this. If I do that. Oh, here we go. If I do that and a little bit of that, I think I'm better. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah, so let them sign in and chat. Hi. I think we have this. Let's do this one more time. Whoa. Again, I'm making Peter nauseated here. Goes the other way, but I think I got it now. Everything's kind of mirror image. Okay. Hi. Are you ready? Yes. Did we have a let's do that. Did we have a little bit of a challenging chapter here?
I thought so.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun. Okay. All right. Oh, I think this is like perfect. So we are looking at chapter 6, yeah? All right. Some of this stuff is challenging because it's challenging. And we're going to start taking a look at some of the review here. I see so much writing. Look at how diligent you guys are.
Blessing.
Blessing. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Torah. I think on my tombstone in the cemetery. So let's practice a little bit doing some reading here if we can, and we'll go around. You can read it and say what you think it means, and we'll check you on that. So, Allison, you want to? Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
He halka el Jerusalem.
Right. Take your time.
I should have gotten my magnifying glass.
Oh, sorry. You can pass if you want to pass.
Ha'isha
Mm-hmm.
mi Mitzrayim
Mm-hmm.
halakha el young woman walked from Egypt to Jerusalem.
Right. Now you're thinking of like Na'ara would be like young woman. Okay. So Isha is just woman.
Oh, okay, just
Yeah, that's minor.
okay.
So very good.
Mi Mitzrayim halakha vehi zakara.
He's Zachra.
Zakra.
Right. Okay, go for it.
The daughter went from or walked from Egypt.
Let's take a look at the word order, okay?
Okay.
So the first, do you remember what the prefix mi means?
From
So what's mi Mitzrayim?
from Egypt.
Right, which we know, Ilu hotzi anu mi Mitzrayim. Sing along, kids. Right, so
Okay. From
the daughter from Egypt, right?
Yeah. Walked.
Yeah, so the daughter from Jerusalem walked and she remembered, or the daughter from Jerusalem went and she remembered. Because halach or halach can just be went. Just get going, right?
going,
Go.
yeah.
Somebody want to volunteer for number 2 for that set? Anybody care to do it?
We'll do
Faith? You're on. Faith, I think, beat you.
That's
She
fine.
hit her buzzer. What's that mean?
The family remembered a thing.
Yeah, or something would be fine. You can stretch that a little bit. Good. What's the next one? Yeah.
Mishpacha.
That sounds like a dark secret. Yes. Okay. What's the next one?
He zachra davar. She remembered something.
Very nice. Yeah.
Hamishpacha zachra v'hi shamra.
Right. Because the word mishpacha, right, is feminine. So the he actually in this case means it. It's just it. Right. Anybody want to try it? All right.
Do it.
If you know Shama, you're like in like Flint here because they all start with that. Okay.
Shema ha'ish davar.
Uh-huh.
The woman remembered something. Or heard
Which,
something, sorry.
right.
Shema ha'ish el ha'av.
Wait, so hold on a second. Hold on. Look at the first one again. Shama ha'ish davar. So what's ha'ish mean?
Ha'ish el ha'av. The man listened to the father.
Yeah. Good, because you have two. All right. What's the third one on three?
Shama ha'ish el ha'av mimitzrayim.
This is what is known as sentences you construct when you have limited vocabulary.
Some of the
Yeah, of
ones in
course.
chapter 5 were.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Shema ish el ha. A man listened to the father from Egypt, and he went.
Very good. So again, just to sort of well done, right? So just to sort of say again, probably two people are logged. So yeah. So with this particular deal, you have this thing with putting the verb first, which again in modern Hebrew you can put the Hebrew first. That you see that more in the Bible. Group 4.
It starts with my name.
Sarah or me.
Oh, you're on, Sarah. It's yours.
All right.
I mean,
Sarah stood and Ruth guarded something.
that laughably, that's correct. Yes. Okay. What's the next one?
Lahabein Mirushalayim Shamar.
Good.
Good.
Uh-huh.
And the son from Jerusalem guarded?
Beautiful. Or watched. Yeah.
Watched.
Yeah.
Okay. Like watched over, sort of?
Yeah. I mean, part of what would make these sentences better,
Yeah.
it's just kind of, you need a direct object. So, for example, what you could have would be stood there, right? V'haben Yerushalayim, and the son from Jerusalem. In modern Hebrew, you might do like shamar ota, which would be watched her. It like beg.
Shema hana'ara.
Yeah, and you would do shamar et hana'ara.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because you would need the direct object thing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But good example. Very good.
Vahi Shamra. The daughter from Egypt stood and she watched.
The daughter from Egypt stood and.
Yerushalayim Amad
Mhm.
Vahu Malach. The son from Jerusalem stood
Right.
and he.
By the way, if anybody who's watching this, I get these messages and or try the chat function and let me know if you're having trouble seeing. So okay. Oh, that's how you do chat. All right.
I guess.
To do chat. Okay, but there's two people logged on watching this, so that's cool. Okay. Who hasn't had a chance? Ellen, you haven't had a chance to go. You want to?
Chance.
Okay. So group
Deep
5.
breath. Okay, here goes. David Malach Mimitzrayim. David ruled from Egypt.
Right. David ruled from Egypt is perfect. What's next?
David Malach Mimitzrayim. Baha'av Malach Yerushalayim.
Nice.
David ruled from Egypt, and the
Dorky sentences, because that's what we got so far. Let's just call them what they are. They're
Yes,
dorky.
dorky.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
David Malach Mimitzrayim Behu, and he walked to Jerusalem.
Yeah. Went or walked to Jerusalem is good. Very good.
Hu halach el Yerushalayim Behu shamar ish.
Uh-huh.
And he watched a man, watched him. And
Right.
he guarded a man.
Okay.
So, and
Good. Very good.
Run, spot, run.
Yeah. Right. It's kind of like run, spot, right. Instead stopping and restarting the video at a lower resolution. I don't know whether that's asking for trouble or not. So I'm going to let it go for now. And let's just kind of see if it gets any better. It may be just the Wi-Fi this week. Here we go. We have ach, which means brother. Right, the segolit, so it's the first e gets accented. Eretz, land or country, which is also feminine.
Except for Moab, right? I think that's.
Yeah, I saw that. They
I
put that
noticed
as
that.
masculine.
Yeah, it's masculine. So
that's-
that's the only.
That's weird. Well, Moab doesn't. They haven't even given it a gender here.
In the
Not here,
glossary.
but later on,
Eh,
somewhere in the.
They left field term like Moab is because eventually you get to read this sort of simplified version of the book of Ruth, and Ruth is from Moab, and so they're kind of introducing some vocab here. All right, so Eved, another one of these two Segol words, Eved is slave or servant, means to cross over or to pass. And since we schlepped in the dry erase board, and we'll make use of it, see if our folks can see it. Hebrew is this whole business of roots, and of the root kind of denoting a concept that resh means to cross or to pass, right? A Hebrew, let's try that again. I think I have stage fright because I know Peter's watching. So, does it really relate to this thing? Does it mean like nomad? Does it mean someone who passes by? Abraham is often referred to as Abraham HaIvri, right? The Hebrew, and those are kind of sweet, right? Also, the word for Hebrew is Ivrit, okay? Mm-hmm. But then you get to something really interesting like this, Aveira. Oh. Yeah, what's an Aveira?
Like
a sin or a transgression, right? Right? Because you've crossed a boundary. You've gone into forbidden territory, right? You've stepped over a line. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there are others too, but that things kind of move around in that way. Okay, we go on still. Ir, yeah. So ir means city, and again, it's feminine, right? Now we have another verb root, shalach, shin, lamed, and chet, to send. Okay. And there's like a lot of words. I won't even write them on the board, but there's a lot of words that are related to this, like a shaliach.
Shaliach tzibur.
Shaliach tzibur. What does shaliach tzibur mean? It says shaliach tzibur means community. So shaliach means emissary or right. In modern Hebrew, mishlachat, which comes from the root shalach, means delegation. Right?
Mishlachot, is that a word?
Mishlachot would be like the plural. Okay. And then you have the word sham, which means there. Or feminine.
Excuse me, I don't think we did the right-hand column. We did a couple of things in it. But
oh God, I left out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I was...
We did eretz.
Yeah, we did eretz, we did ach and eretz. I'm so sorry. Okay, derech, road or way.
Masculine or feminine.
Yeah, either one.
What's that about?
Non-binary.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Haim and hema means they, man, biblical. It's kind of archaic. Yeah. Hena, you just say hain. Okay. So haim is they, masculine. Hain. Har means mountain. Har Sinai is Mount Sinai. Right. And then the word yom. The word yom or day is masculine because when you want to talk about a major Jewish festival, you call it a Yom Tov. Gut Yom Tov, right? Okay. So I have to I'll tell a quick little mom story here. So my mother was her own rabbi. She made many rabbinic decisions for our family. She decided that the stainless steel was part of stainless steel. You like this? You would have loved my mother. As there was, this idea that like if in a really a full-fledged Jewish holiday because it's mentioned in the Torah and because it's a day when you're not supposed to work and you're supposed to observe all those restrictions. But my mother had her own category. So like Sukkot, right? It wasn't solemn. Right, exactly. Solemn is a good word. So there's one of my mother's takanot. The noun derech is either masculine or feminine. The notes hayom can mean either the day or today. Haaretz, meaning the land. Here's why. Because remember, glare the lights. So there may not be an ideal camera angle here, but this letter takes a dot in it. It's ha plus a dot. Mm-hmm. So the problem is that when you want to say it comes back and it changes the vowels and it becomes haaretz. Letter is one of the letters. Mm-hmm. The aleph can't take a dagesh, so it becomes haaretz. And you hear haaretz all the time, right?
It's a newspaper.
Haaretz, right? Haaretz bara Elohim, right? In the beginning, right? God created et hashamayim ve'et haaretz.
Qualify for me is kamat's a long.
Kamatz is a long vowel, and patach is a short vowel.
So that's why just reverse engineering for a second.
Yeah.
And then a patach
Yeah.
for the second one would
Yeah.
be a close generally.
Yeah, that's generally the right.
Regular.
That's
Okay.
partly why.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
you-
And I think there's something though where when it's the accented syllable, it flips. But don't worry about it. Okay. Well, the very last word at the bottom on the right is davar, right? Well, da is an open syllable. You see davar at the very bottom? Right down there. Right. If it is that, if a closed syllable is the accented one. All right. Now we start looking at plural nouns. How lucky are we? Right? It's good to be Jewish. Wishes. Hebrew nouns are made plural by adding endings to the singular form. The vowels of the noun often change when the plural ending is added, as we will see. Forming masculine plural nouns. Masculine nouns are usually made yud and then final mem, im, right? But then the vowels change, and the main reason that the vowels change is because shorten up the vowels at the beginning to get you there, right? Like melechim would be kind of hard to say, but malachim, right? Shortening that first one is easier, just kind of trips off the tongue more, right? Melachim, right? Davar, and instead of the accented syllables, so you change the az like change to a shva, right? So melech, malachim, lifnei melech, malchei, hamelachim, hakadosh baruch Hu, called the farmer in the dell. Bayom hahu, bayom hahu. It is the farmer in the dell. Now that I've ruined the liturgy for you forever. All right. Okay. And then there's another one that somebody wrote, Days of Our Lives. I've completely ruined that piece of liturgy for you. What a good rabbi. All right. So then davar becomes divarim. And restart the stream at 480 or 360p. All right. 2 people are still on. I just brought the resolution down, and hopefully that will make the video stream more smoothly. Peter says,
He's writing.
okay, we keep going. Hopefully that helped.
You know, I just discovered the notes in the back of the book.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
on 8. It says you don't need to know all the vowel changes that can take place when a singular noun's made plural, but you should know this one when it goes from a double sigil into the plural.
Right.
just
Melech,
with the
malachim.
melech. So there's a shavah
Yeah.
and then a ptah.
So if
know that one.
if melech goes to malachim, right? What does kelev, a dog, go to? Melech malachim, kelev, klavim, right? Derech, drachim. Yeah, it's a pattern. Yeah, you know, like I said, it's not like arbitrary. All right. So now let us keep going. And look at forming feminine nouns. Feminine nouns are usually made plural by add. Becomes aratzot. Okay. Why does it become aratzot? Because look at the plural, right? Look at milachim and divarim. So the first letter of the plural should, quote unquote, take a shva, the 2 dots, right? Yeah.
But you
Can't
can't
do that
take
with
You
it
can't
off.
put it under an aleph. Look how smart you are, right? So instead, it becomes an aratzot, right? It becomes aratzot, right? So you've got that, you've got this, the chataf patach, you've got this combination vowel, right?
Right, because we can't put a shva. We
Right.
put
So what they're saying is we couldn't put a shva here, so we, right. Yeah.
So why, and I know we talked about it last
Oh,
time too,
sorry.
with adding
Oh, good.
the hey,
Good.
the word the at the beginning and then second letter
Yeah.
is the, but why would, if you make it plural, is that also like one of the rules where you make it plural?
Ask the question again. I'm sorry. I didn't quite absorb it.
I think you said that the aleph can't take a dagesh
Right.
at the beginning of the word, or
Right.
I'm just confused on why. So if something is plural, a dagesh is in the first letter when you make it plural. Like why?
No. When you make something ha, right? When you put the, right? The ha is not just a ha. It's what makes it the is ha plus dagesh chazak.
Okay.
Right? certain letters won't take a dagesh chazak, and ayin and aleph, the gutturals chet and hey don't take a dagesh chazak, so it doubles back and messes with the vowel.
So okay, so I understand that, or
Yeah.
at least I get.
Yeah, I mean,
that. But
yeah.
then why? How does that apply to what's here? Aretz and.
Okay, different issue, right? The issue is that when you take words like melech, okay, look back, right? Look back at forming masculine plurals, right? The pattern is melech goes to milachim, right? Davar goes to divarim. I can't think of another example of what words that we know right now, right? So if you look at melech, milachim, right, the first letter of the root in this pattern of making things plural, the first letter of the root, the mem or the dalid in melachim or divarim, right, gets a shva.
It's following the pattern, but it can't.
Okay. Right. That's why it gets elongated.
Okay.
So it's
So
a
it's not
secondary
a
issue.
question,
Yeah,
it's
different issue.
Okay.
Okay?
It's a lot of dots.
Lots of dots.
Lots of points.
You say, yeah, that's very interesting. All right. So now, always lose the letter hey when the feminine plural ot is attached. Okay? Remember, I briefly mentioned that there are some Hebrew letters that are very weak, meaning they easily drop out. Okay? They especially drop out when they are at the end of the word, right, or the beginning of the word. So we talked about last time. I told you about a dagesh chazak ending up because the nun fell out, right? So nun is a particularly weak letter at the beginning of a word. It drops. Hey is very weak, especially at the end. So eretz goes to aratzot, right? And the hey is just gone. Okay. I'm sorry, there is no hey. That's mishpacha that I'm looking at. No wonder everybody was looking at me like, what are you talking about? All right, look at it. Mishpacha goes to mishpachot. Behema, animal or cattle, goes to behemot. Torah goes to torot with no hey. The hey at the end of Torah, the kamatzay, that's all you really need to know. So when a feminine singular word that ends in that classic ah, right, goes to ot, the hey is gone. It disappears. Okay? Regular masculine nouns. Okay? When they say regular masculine nouns, what they mean are you expect a masculine noun to end, you expect a masculine plural noun in Hebrew to end in im. So these are all words that end in im. Very nice. All right? Ach becomes achim. Right? Where do you know achim from? Song references. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Right? How nice it is for brothers, or we say people or us, to sit together, to dwell together. Okay? Bain, goes to banim, son to sons, or children. All right? Davar goes to divarim. Al shlosha divarim. Right. Har goes to harim. Esa enai el he harim. Now, why is it he harim and not ha harim?
Yeah, that's.
Well, you tell me why.
Later. Okay.
Because when you add the ha,
Because it does happen.
All right. Peter, text Allison and tell us if the video's gone crappy again. Because it's giving me warning messages that I may need to dial the resolution down further. We'll see.
Discussion the other time.
Um,
When it's before
Yes.
one of those.
Is hey a
like
guttural as
olive
well?
Uh-huh. So
No.
He said it's okay?
No.
Oh, he didn't say anything.
Yes,
All right,
haven't
we'll keep
said
going.
anything
Okay,
yet.
all right. So yeah, so because the hey in harim can't take the dot, it becomes he harim. Yeah, you get it again in
And it's
harim rakedu elim. Right, the mountains skipped like gazelles. It says beautiful image. Okay, unless it's an earthquake, in which case it's a terrifying image. Video's still fine. Okay, all right. Okay, so we go on then to Yom. Yom becomes Yamim. Melech, Melachim. Na'ar, Ne'arim. Eved, avadim.
Yeah.
Why the funky vowel? You know the reason for this already. Whenever you see that chataf patach, that combination vowel, it means there should have been a shva there, but it's under a guttural letter that you can't pronounce. Right? So look at like milachim, ni'arim, right? Divarim, but you can't say vadim. So it becomes avadim. Avadim hayinu. You can channel a little Passover here. All right.
Okay.
Am goes to amim. Amim. If you asked me why there was a dagesh chazak in the mem, the answer would be, I don't know. I just noticed that, like, why is there a dagesh in the mem?
I'll tell you.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't. Right. But because of our traditions.
Yeah.
It's a tradition. Tradition. Get up and dance on the table. Okay. All right. It's telling me to be quiet because clipped audio will sound bad for my viewers, so I have to stop singing and laughing. Okay.
Can we go back up for just a
Yeah.
second? We skipped over this little one that says feminine nouns ending in tav often
Oh.
lose the letter when the feminine plural is attached. Do you have an example of that?
Feminine nouns ending in taf often lose the letter taf for the feminine plural.
So we lost the letter hey.
Well, taf is also kind of a weak letter. Well, now I'm thinking of one that doesn't follow that, because like dot means like faith or opinion, and the plural is datot.
What about bat?
Bat becomes banot. It's really irregular.
A dot.
A dot. Yeah, a dot. There's an example. So but that's it's adah goes to a dot. Adat means like community of or tribe of.
Yeah.
You have like
Oh,
adat
so that's
yeshurun.
like
Yeah,
okay,
that's a construct form.
Yeah, okay.
Let's make an
Alright, so
agreement.
never mind.
Yeah, well, let's make. I was going to say let's make an agreement not to worry about it, but
Okay.
never mind also
That's
works for me.
fine. That's fine.
Pay no attention to the grammar behind the curtain. Right. I didn't claim to know everything. Okay. All right. So, eretz is land, right? Plural is aratzot, right? Now again, I don't even like if you look at behemot below. That's why it's aratzot with the chataf segol with the chataf patach, because you can't put the shva under there. So eretz goes to aratzot. Behema becomes behemot. Again, in all of these, the hey disappears and is replaced by the ot, right? Mishpacha becomes mishpachot. Na'ara becomes ni'arot.
Can I ask a question about
Yeah,
that? Just,
totally.
Not about the way this has changed, but about the stress of
Mhm.
the word.
Yeah.
So na'ar,
Yeah.
not na'ara. Or...
Yeah. Hebrew, the sort of default accented syllable, it will be the penultimate syllable, the next to last syllable. You have all these like the present tense participles. The feminine singular all ends in e. So like shomer, shomeret, shomrim, shomrot. You don't say shomeret, you say shomeret, right? Omer, omeret, omrim, omrot. So when you have a I'm trying to say, when you have a more than two syllable word, you usually, if you're not sure, you guess that it's the last syllable that's accented. That's generally so. Okay. One of the nice things, Ellen, about trope and about chanting Torah to trope is that the trope automatically puts the accent in the right place for you. It's constructed that way. Right? And even just if you're not sure, even if you're not chanting, if you're just reading the Hebrew, the trope symbol, even if you don't know trope, in a printed Bible always shows you what the accented syllable is. That's where they put it. And that's why the melody supports the pronunciation. Okay. Let's go to page 42. We may, by the way, spend a couple of weeks on this one because there's a lot here. But let's see how we're feeling about it by the end. Some Hebrew nouns do not follow the basic rules for forming plurals. These nouns have irregular plural forms. Okay? They are weird, and unfortunately, they are very common words. All right. So the plural of ish is anashim. Okay? Plural of ish is anashim. And aleph, like the aleph nun shin, right, again, is sort of archaic, and like in Hebrew, sometimes it pops up. So here's the reason Did you sing in the choir, Sarah, this year, the High Holiday Choir? No, but you're like sitting there listening to the choir. So we sing at the choir hopefully this is worth all the trouble I'm taking. It's going to be like one of those jokes where by the time you finish explaining it, it's not funny. Talk about somber, like super somber piece called Enosh Kechatzir Yamav. A person's life is like straw, like grass, right? So Enosh is really archaic, but Enosh is sort of like, there's like the nun that kind of like fell away, right? And remember last time we said, why does Isha, plural, become Nashim? And I talked about the Dagesh Chazak in the Shin. It's for a nun that dropped out. Maybe originally the word was Insha, and then it becomes Isha, but then you go to plural, it becomes Nashim. The nun pops up again. This is not something to like spend too much brain power on, but it's just interesting little bits of, archaeology. Ellen, you have a question forming on your lips.
So is it Enosh related to, and this came up like in the
Yeah.
crossword puzzle, but anyway.
Yeah.
I think the clue was nephew of Cain.
Enoch? Or
Enoch.
Oh, yeah, maybe,
Is
yeah.
that the same root as what you're saying?
I don't know who is Cain's nephew? Enosh?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's like mythological language, like, and his nephew was like person or guy or, yeah. Okay. Bat, daughter, banot, daughters. Masculine nouns sometimes take the feminine plural ending ot, and feminine nouns sometimes take the masculine plural ending im. Again, I would not get too twisted up in this. You just learn this, okay? Av becomes avot, like the part of the Mishnah that we always like to quote from. Pirkei Avot, which means like sayings of our ancestors, right? Ir, right? The plural is arim. So they're pointing out to you again, the word avot, fathers, is masculine, even though it has what sounds like a feminine ending. The word arim, cities, is feminine, even though it has the masculine ending. Okay.
You think somewhere along the line, somebody fixed that?
Yeah, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Certain things just hang on.
Bigger truth underneath that blending.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. No, but people who have sort of talked about kind of like gender identity and gender fluidity, they look at the second chapter. There's like two versions of the creation of people in the Torah. Right. The first is in Genesis, right? So the first one says Zachar unekeva bara otam, right? God created them male and female. Binary male and female. So you can play with that. All right. In the last two chapters, you learn the patterns for masculine and feminine, singular, perfect tense verb forms. All right. Masculine, shamar, he guarded. Feminine, shamra, she guarded. We good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The pattern for the plural verb form in the perfect tense is shown below. It is, see the three X's? Those are the three letters of the root. First letter of the root, middle root letter is one of these weird letters that can't take a shva. That's going to cause some problems, right? Which we learn about, right? Mm-hmm. And then the third letter doesn't take any vowel of itself, but it has an u after it. Okay, so they walked is halchu. We know the root is halach, right? Halchu. They sent shalchu. They guarded, shamru. That's it's easy. Vishamru. Yeah, right. What I love, yes. What I love is that all Sarah had to do was this, and we just knew we need steins of beer. Is that one, right? Raise your hand if you're sick of that, Vishamru. No. Okay, and then zachru. They remembered. Okay.
And it doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine
right.
for this.
Right. Yay, right.
We get a pass on
You get a
that.
pass on this, right? It's right. So we learned earlier when we were learning, when we were introduced to these words, haim and hain, where they have hema and haina or something, right? Which is archaic. So it's haim, all of them masculine or mixed. Hebrew has that sort of sexism that if it's mixed genders, it takes the masculine plural, right? So haim, shamru, but if it's feminine, it's hen, shamru, right? Him and hein takes the same. So look at these, right? Haben shamar, which we could already translate, the son guarded, yeah? Habanim shamru, the sons guarded. Habanot shamru, the daughters guarded.
I thought the "u" ending was first person plural. We, our.
New.
Yeah, "u" is third person plural in the past tense. The one for our, first person plural, right? This is third person plural, right? They did, right? First person plural, we, right, is new. The suffix new.
Okay.
So but it's a great point, Phil. So all those words in the prayer book, right? Eloheinu, Avotenu, Imotenu, Anachnu. Anachnu means we, right? So that's all we, us, our. A lot of traditional Hebrew prayer book liturgy takes place in the first.
And that if there's even just one woman in a group of many, many men, it still goes by the masculine.
Yeah, alas. Yes, that is true.
The other way
What
around.
do you mean the other way around?
Oh,
If it's
even if
all
there's
women
one
and
woman.
man, it's still masculine.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
well, the other holds true too.
yeah. I have to think about this on Saturday mornings, especially when there's a bar bat mitzvah, and we have a bunch of honorees fitting in when it comes to calling up Hagba, who's going to hold up the Torah and Galila. Like, okay, like what, if we're going to do it right in Hebrew, like what gender mix is this, right? So sometimes it's all the little girl cousins, right? So like, if it's one woman, it's ta'amod, which means, we know amad already, right? Stood, right? So future tense, right? Imperfect. Ta'amod, so she's going to come up. Or he's going to come up, ya'amod, right? Or if it's a bunch of guys who are going to come up, right? Or mixed, it's
Yomdu.
ya'amdu,
Yeah, Yomdu.
right? But what if it's a bunch of women, right? Then it's ta'amodna. And I have to really think about that, right? And I have a feeling that even Israelis don't bother with that, but that I think is the proper form. It's ta'amodna. All right, the complete chart of plural nouns, all you need to know for this chapter. Whenever a new noun appears in the vocabulary list of each chapter, we will give you the singular and plural forms of the noun. You must learn these forms, Luke. Learn these forms you must, says Yoda, Rabbi Yoda. Learn these forms you shall. I saw a bumper sticker that said, "What would Yoda do?" And the second line is, "Kick your butt, he would."
He's so brilliant.
Yeah.
He's so sage, but he can't get word order right.
He's got the word order thing. Okay, so you can also find these forms in the glossary in the back of the book. Plurals that are seldom seen in the Bible are not included. Below is a chart of all the nouns you have learned that have plural forms. Memorize all the forms in this chart. Okay. So, av avot, ach achim, ish anashim, eretz aratzot, isha nashim, behema behemot, bat batim, houses. I'm sorry, bayit batim. Oh, I really screwed that up, right? I made it daughter, right? Bayit batim, forgive me. Bat banot im, har harim, yom yamim, melech malachim, melech malchei hamlachim, that's easy too, right? Mishpacha mishpachot, na'ar ni'arim, na'ara ni'arot, at least that's regular. Eved avadim, avadim hayinu, I have to sing that every time I see it from Passover. Ir arim, amim. The plural anashim may be translated as men or people. The plural form banim may be translated as sons or children. Yeah. The section of the Passover Seder about the 4 kids who have their different attitudes is as arba banim. What they used to in the old Haggadot, they would translate it as the 4 sons. Now they usually translate it as the 4 children. Page 44. Whoa, this chapter goes on forever. It goes on forever. All right. So let me ask a question here. First of all, are there questions? Secondly, do we maybe want to divide this chapter up over 2 weeks? is this like really a lot for 1 week? What's going to follow, the rest that they have here is some stuff about vowels and prepositions, and like why did the vowels change? Like why is it he, ha, reem, and stuff like that? Like, do you want to look at that now, or do you want to save it and we'll just talk about, okay, like here's some homework we're going to do for next time. Here's some exercises we'll assign part of them, and then just say this is enough for a week. I just want to make sure that we're not making this like.
I mean, I went through the whole chapter, but
Push on.
You want to push
I
on?
think we could. But
Okay.
it's
Okay.
not- I did have some trouble with it, though.
All right. So let's see if we can maybe push on ahead. Yeah. Let's push on ahead. It seems to be the consensus, and I want to make sure that we get to your questions.
Okay.
Okay, and everybody's questions. Question, Ellen.
Just that,
Yeah.
for the, as we go on through the chapter, so they say here, you should memorize it. So is that your advice too? Like the spelling and the use of the patach and kamat? Like,
I'm not really worried about the use of the kamats and patach. I think that for us, it is okay. Our focus here is going to be more. The Hebrew is going to be more passive, right? It's going to be like, here's a sentence for you to translate. It's more in translation than it is on actually producing. So I don't really care about the spelling at all. I'm much more interested in like verbally. If I say to you, "What's the plural of ish?" and somebody can say, "Oh, that's anashim," right? Or "What's the plural of mishpacha?" That should be mishpachot, right? Like, I don't. The writing, I'm not really concerned. Yeah. No. I think I don't.
It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
hard time.
Right. I think our focus here is on translation, not on. We're not doing like
Okay.
spoken language where you have to like produce it. Yeah, I just don't think that's reasonable in one class a week.
I have a memorization tip
Yeah,
I used to use when I was teaching.
memorization tip.
For when you have these lists that there's nothing to do but memorize them. But
Right.
Chant them to yourself.
Yeah.
Chanting really gets things into your head
Mhm.
better.
Okay. Yeah, like when I have let's say conversion students, and part of what they need to do at their like closing ceremony is to recite V'ahavta, and I'll say, if you like to sing or you have some sense of melody, you don't have to be a great singer. Also, plus the chant supports the pronunciation and the accents being right, so that could be nice. Okay. All right. Inseparable prepositions. It's very romantic. You have already learned. Sorry. Now I'm looking here, and one person has logged off. It was probably that stupid
did it.
joke. That did it. I guess Peter's hanging in there. Okay. You have already learned the prepositions el and min. These prepositions, like English prepositions, are separate words. There are three important Hebrew prepositions that are not separate words. Le means to or for, right? Ke means like or as. Be means either in or with or on. These prepositions are called inseparable prepositions because they are always attached to other words.
Doesn't L mean two?
El means
So
to.
what's the difference?
There is not necessarily any difference. Sometimes it will be expressed with el, and like I could say, Hu halach el Yerushalayim, or I could say Hu halach li Yerushalayim with a prefix. Now, I will, because you were here on Shabbat morning for Lucy's bat mitzvah, and you were here too, right? So Lucy Zanker did this fabulous Devar Torah in which she talked about the meaning of Lech Lecha, and she gave three different interpretations, right? Her different interpretations were all based on the fact that Le can mean to or for, right? So Lech Lecha could just mean get going to some destination, or it can mean Lecha to yourself, right? Or Lecha for yourself, for your own benefit. The malleability of that prefix is what gave rise to that whole Devar Torah, which was pretty fab. Okay. Vowels and inseparable prepositions. The inseparable prepositions, that's hard to say, ordinarily take a shva, 2 dots. B'mishpacha, in or with a family. Av b'mishpacha, Shamar banim. Okay. Ki, like or as. Ki melech. As a king. David shamar batim kemelech. David watched or guarded houses as a king. You see also ke in the famous Ein Kelohenu. Eloheinu means, now the new suffix means our, right? Eloheinu means whose God? Our God. Ein means ain't. Basically, there isn't. There ain't no, right? There ain't no, and Kelohenu, like our God. There ain't nobody like our God. Ain't Kelohenu. Partner, right? All right. Shootout at the Beth Israel Corral. Okay. Limoav, to Moab. Abraham halach lemoav. Abraham went to Moab. Leach, to or for a brother. Ha'isha halcha leach b'mitzrayim. The woman went to a brother in Egypt. Okay. I want to go back for a second up to the top. They're not going to probably talk about this right now, but you see up near the top, it has le and then ke and then bi, and it says bi means in, which is what you normally sort of assume, right? On occasionally, but the with thing is interesting. So there is a separate Hebrew verb that they haven't introduced. It's spelled. I'm in trouble printing today. It's spelled like this: ayin final mem with a dot, im. So im means with when it's a separate word. You don't even to talk about being with a person. Hu yashav, he sat, im hatalmidim, he sat with the students. He amda, she stood, im hatalmidim. All right? But if you want to say with in the sense of by means of, like he wrote with a pencil, if you say im, it sounds like Mr. Paperclip, right? Like I was writing and the pencil was also writing. I was writing along with the pencil that was writing, right? So there I want to say hu katav, there's a nice another Hebrew past tense masculine singular, right? He wrote hu katav bi'iparon, with.
In pencil.
Yeah,
So
with a
By
pencil.
means of, so it's a
Yeah.
with in the sense of by
Means of, precisely. So that, when you want to say by means of, you any modern Hebrew too, right? Bi. So the other thing in terms of like in is that Hebrew is very literal when it talks about being inside something. So like everybody in Israel makes the mistake of saying, how did you get here? And somebody will say, because they're translating directly from English, al ha'autobus, on the bus. But in Hebrew, that means I was sitting on the roof of the bus, right? Literally, bit autobus, right? In a bus, or ba autobus in the bus, right? So, all right.
So does that even apply with, so we have the word behema, which means animal or
Right.
whatever. So if you were saying with an animal.
Yeah, if you were with another being,
Or
like
s-
physically
okay.
present with them,
Because then
right?
you have this bet situation at the beginning of the word.
Yeah, and it would be like, yeah, I'd have to think that one through.
It's okay.
Yeah, because these roots, these prefixes also have a form where you can add ha in there. So like bi means in, but ba with a patach means in the. Le means to or for, but la, yeah, right. So let's get to the rest of it. All right. In some circumstances, bottom of 44, the inseparable prepositions take other vowels. Kim lachim, right? So the I, right, and it was the same thing would go with like li malachim and bi malachim. So because you can't really put two moving shvas, two shvanas in a row, which is what you would have there, right? So it says here, because the word is milachim with the shva, you can't say kimalachim, so it becomes as kings. Hema halchu liYerushalayim, right? They went to Jerusalem, not li Yerushalayim, but li Yerushalayim. Or at the end of the Seder, Lishana Haba'a, not Bi Yerushalayim, but Birushalayim. Yeah. Okay, because you don't want the two shvas in a row. All right, page 45. The prepositions li, ki, and bi connected with ha. Right, this is what they're talking about now. When the prepositions bi, ki, and li are attached to a word with ha, the following changes take place. The hey drops out. Hey's really weak. It drops all over the place. Any vowel that appeared under the hey is transferred to the preposition bi, in or with, ki, like or as, or li, to or for. Any dagesh that appeared in the first letter following the hey is preserved. So, bayit, in a house, becomes bivayit, and we know that they're saying here that the dagesh in the bet, in bayit, transfers to the bi. We talked about it, in fact, that the reason, remember that bait is one of these beged kefet letters that automatically picks up a dot when it's the first letter in the word. But once you put bit in front of it, it's no longer the first letter in the word, so the dot goes poof, right? Bait, bivait, habayit, right? The house. And there it's got the dot because the has a dot attached to it. Babayit, in the house, right? Bivayit, in a house. Babayit, in the house. Av is father. Li'av, to a father. Ha'av, the father. La'av, combining the li and the ha, to the father. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Remember that a proper noun, a specific person or place, cannot take the right. Because I'm not going to say, I was in Central Market and I ran into the Allison. Right? I ran into Allison. And she, right, a person's name, a proper name is already definite. It's specific, so you don't add the to it. Right? So, so look at the examples. The following sentences all use inseparable prepositions. Habat amda bivayit. The daughter stood in a house. Habat amda babayit. The daughter stood in the house. So it's the difference between bi and ba is really what you need to know. Ha'ish avar le'ir. The man crossed over to a city. Ha'ish avar la'ir. The man crossed over to the city. So ba instead of bi, la instead of le, and then we'll look at the ka, like or as. Malach David kemelech. David ruled as a king. Malach David kamelech. David ruled as the king.
So just by simply changing, saying this last example,
Yeah.
the shva
To the patach.
patach gives me the as and the.
It's combined is ba, right? That's all it is. That's all
Okay.
it is. I mean, again, nobody's going to ask you to translate from English, not normally, into biblical Hebrew, right? So we're learning this kind of as in a translation mode. We're learning it in a sort of passive mode, not in a you have to speak this language. Okay. More about inseparable prepositions. We're almost there. Oh yes,
I have a
Allison.
question.
Go, please ask your
So-
question.
In that area, so he ruled in Jerusalem, and you look at Be Yerushalayim.
What page
But
are you
it's,
on?
Page 46.
And you are.
Sort
Oh,
of-
so you're the third group of examples there.
Yeah.
Hu
so
malach
why is it
Yerushalayim?
Be and not, why does the B not
Okay.
have a shava?
Because, and people who are watching, I know you can't see this. I still have to try to figure out some better way to do this. But so Yerushalayim begins like this, right? In Jerusalem, right? So I'm not going to use ba because I don't need a ha. Jerusalem is Jerusalem. It's specific. It doesn't need the in front of it, right? So I just want to do that. So, not knowing any better, right? I would start it like that. Be Yerushalayim.
But the yud doesn't have.
Yeah, well, I'm saying this is what I would think I was going to do,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because Yerushalayim starts with a shva. Bi means in, right? So I would be tempted to start Bi Yerushalayim, right?
Okay.
The thing is, this is a sounded shva, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it starts the whole word. It's not silent, right? It doesn't end a syllable. It's commencing one. but this is also commencing a syllable, Yerushalayim, right? And Hebrew does not want me to put two
Right.
shvanas
Okay.
in a row.
Okay.
So what happens is, look,
Okay.
Birushalayim.
Okay.
That's right. Now again, like, you're not like, it's not like you're in rabbinical school and you have to take a test, you have to like produce this stuff, right? And even in rabbinical school for like Dikduk for biblical Hebrew, what would happen is they would put that there, they would put like this there and say, why is there no shva? And you'd have to say, oh, because it would be too, wait, why is this become a
Okay.
chirik instead of a shva? Right? And even for us at this stage, I mean, look, I think for people with like lives, you know, who like aren't like grad students, I think everything that you all are doing here is like heroic. I think the fact that we're doing this here is like truly heroic. And so, you know, it's great. It's great. You know, my attitude toward a lot of these rules is, as long as you know that it's not senseless and chaotic, right? There are reasons for this, right? If you want to know, well, why is this written this way? You know, maybe eventually at a point you go, oh yeah, I remember we learned a rule about blah blah blah, right? But that's it, right?
And there is
Um,
more
That really
notes at the
tripped
back
me
of
up.
the book.
So,
Okay.
Go deeper into
Yeah,
the
Peter,
grammar
I
and
see that there's
patterns.
problems. I may go back next time to arranging the room the way that it was, where you can't see everybody like you can now, but the board is clearer. So I think I'm going to rearrange things next time to just make it clearer. Okay, so more about inseparable prepositions. We're at the top of page 46. The preposition li is often interchangeable with the preposition el. You were kind of asking about, somebody was asking about this before, right? Li and el is kind of the same. Ha'ish avar el ha'ir, the man went over to the city, or ha'ish avar la'ir, right? The preposition li kahemot, animals or cattle, li'ish, to a man. Hu shalach li'ish, he sent for a man. Yeah, you really wouldn't normally talk that way, but yeah, you could. Hu shalach la'ish, he sent for the man. The preposition bi can mean either in, with, or on. Hu malach b'Yerushalayim, he reigned in Jerusalem, or ruled in Jerusalem. Hu avar ba behemot, he crossed over with the animals. Hu halach baderech, she walked on or in the road. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to actually stop the streaming in a minute because the battery is running out. So people who are watching, let's just do this really quick because the battery on the camera is running out. I'll put on the extended battery next time. So I think exercise 1 is good practice on page 46. I think exercise 2 is great practice. Exercise 3, if you're busy, I would say is optional. Okay? And I would try to do exercise 4. Anything else you want to add to that is optional, but let's see if we can do 1, 2, and 4. If you have extra time and you want to really sort of reinforce these things, maybe also do exercise 5, where you're taking the verb roots and putting the correct form of the verb root that goes in that sentence depending upon masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. Okay? So anything else anybody wants to do is icing on the cake. It's gravy, but let's try to go for 1, 2, and 4. If you're able to add in 5, awesome. Okay?
I still have another question.
Yes, Allison, sorry.
And I'm looking ahead, so I just wonder why there's a segal.
What? Show me where you are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Page 47
Page 47.
here.
Where are you? Le'arim.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's
Why
talking
is there
about
a
group. I'm
segal?
going to tell you why. She's talking about group 3 on page 47 in exercise 4. Group 3, last line. Shalchu hena ne'arim le'arim. So they
Why
want to
isn't there
say
Shabbat?
two cities, right? Or to the cities,
cities.
right? It's got to be to the cities. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It should be Shva.
No.
it should be shva, right? Well, no, it should be if it's to the cities, right?
Oh, okay.
But remember, la is taking le and then smushing a ha into it, and ha has a dagesh afterwards. And the word is arim with an ayin, and the ayin won't take a dot. You can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it forces a change in the vowel to le arim.
Okay.
It's because ha or la, which is combined with
Okay.
it, won't take
So
the dot.
it's like he'arim.
It's like he-harim or he-arim.
Okay. Okay.
You guys, people who have been on, thank you so much. Bye. Everybody wave. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.